Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the Dusty Sea channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. And this here is a Diatone FPV quadcopter. Yeah, however, not just any Diatone. Are you familiar with the brand Diatone? Probably, especially if you follow my channel. I have had quite a lot of Diatones. However, again, this is a 5-inch quadcopter, a Racer Stretched X, as you can probably see. However, again, not just any Diatone, but it is a 7-year anniversary edition. Yeah, you can see the screen printing with the cat, and there's some text over here, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to read that. Okay, so it's a 7-year anniversary edition, which is very nice. First of all, congratulations Diatone, well done. Quite a feat in this industry to survive for 7 years, right? And FPV flying 7 years? Has it been that long? Maybe they started out with just line of sight quadcopters, I'm not even sure. I've been flying Diatone quadcopters for the last 3.5 years, I think. So 7 years, yeah, that's twice as long as my experience, my personal experience with Diatone. Okay, so in this video we'll take a close-up look at this quadcopter, of course. 7th year anniversary edition, so that deserves a close-up look. A nice screen printing on the frame, as you can see. We don't see a whole lot of that. I actually very much appreciate that. Special editions. They could do that more often, maybe. Oh well. Okay, so this quadcopter is special for one other reason. If you are familiar with Diatone, you probably know that all Diatones so far have come with Runcam FPV cameras. This one, however, has a Foxeer FPV camera. Yeah. And I actually know why. Runcam actually pissed off Diatone a little, is that the right word? Well, with their Split 2 Mini debacle, with the lenses not being fixed or play in the lenses, yeah, that didn't reflect well on Diatone's GGR HD quadcopters, right? So that's why they are now trying out some other brands. Huh. Yeah. Okay, so of course in this series of videos we'll see how this camera works out. This Foxeer camera. Specs on this quadcopter are as always in the description down below, as are links to it. But let's take a close-up look at this quadcopter. So, ladies and gentlemen, a brand new racing quadcopter from Diatone. 5-inch, like mentioned before. And a Stretched X, definitely. And it's not a hybrid, as you probably see. The front spacing is the same as the rear spacing. And let me see. Yeah, it has separate arms, so 4 separate arms. And each arm is held down with 2 screws, as you can see. Now, that makes for a pretty user-friendly setup. I can also tell you that this frame is super duper stiff. There is no play in it at all. It is also new, so it well, it stands to reason that it's now stiff, right? I can't tell you if that will be the case in a year or so. What you might have noticed is that I have this carbon fiber top half on it, and you might have only seen the quadcopter in other videos with this blue canopy. So it is definitely nice that you get this canopy, this top structure with the quadcopter, and this TPU printed with turtle fin on it. So yeah, again, that's nice that you get both. I do, however, suspect that the frame is a lot stiffer with this carbon fiber top plate. It's minimalistic, this top plate, yes, but it does feel very substantial. This is definitely quality carbon fiber. It's nicely machined as well and finished. It doesn't cut you in any way, it's nicely rounded, so that's nice. And as you can hopefully see, it has cutouts for a strap. So you can, with this canopy, add a action camera, where you can't with this TPU printed canopy. You could even opt to run the LiPo on top if you want to fly this as an acro quadcopter. It is definitely not meant to be flown with a battery on top, but you can. You could experiment with that, right? However, the quad is definitely meant to be flown with the battery at the bottom over here. Now that we have a look at the bottom, this frame is suitable for conventional 30.5 by 30.5 stacks, which is actually used, as you can see, but you can also use this frame with micro stacks, 20 by 20 stacks, which in this case isn't used. But if you'd opt to order the frame separately for your own build, you could use a micro stack for this frame. As you can see, the arms themselves have printing on them as well. There are basically two arms. This arm and this arm is the same, is identical. And this arm is identical. And what's the top like? I'm not sure. Maybe there are... No, they are definitely different. So there are two different types of arms for this frame. Like I said, this one with this more yellowish print, and the ones with the black ends on them. Alright, a couple of last things about the build itself. As you can see at the rear, you've got this nice antenna mount for the Foxeer Lollipop, which is included with the quadcopter. Very nice. I run this kind of antenna on a lot of my quadcopters, so thank you very much. And you might have seen videos about a prototype or prototypes of this quadcopter, which had, well, I'm not sure what to call them, but the motor wires were cut over here and over here, and there was a PDB, a printed board, running the motor signals or motor currents from your ESCs to those cuts in the wires. And well, I like things that are different, and it looked clean, I guess, but it also introduces well, potential for failure, right? A failure point. So, well, I guess they played it safe by you going for a conventional setup. As always with Diatone quadcopters, the build is very clean, no wires hanging off to the side of the quadcopter, very nice. And also, as with all, yeah, I think it's fair to say all Diatone quadcopters, the soldering is very well done, very nicely shiny. All beads are the same size. What's that like on the other side? Yeah, very consistent. So the soldering is well done. Okay, so the electronics of this quadcopter. The center over here is the Mamba stack from Diatone itself. And it's a 50 amp, so 4 times 50 D-Shot 600. Regrettably only 600, but it will do, of course. The more important thing is the 50 amp. And that should be more than enough. Then we have an F4 flight controller, also from the Mamba, from Diatone itself. And on top we have a TBS Unify VTX. And that runs up to 800 milliwatts. Yeah, so that's actually a bit weird. First of all, it's nice that you get an actual TBS VTX, of course. But okay, so 800 milliwatts, that tells me that they know, Diatone knows that this quadcopter will be mostly used for just fun flying. Maybe a weekend racer, but well, serious racers will probably always want to build their own quads. So yeah, with that, this quadcopter is suitable for well, all kinds of FPV flying, from club racing to freestyle, if you'd so want to, and that's probably what I'll do as well. That's one of the reasons why I will probably keep this canopy on, so I can mount an action camera on it. Alright. Okay, so the motors are actually a bit of a surprise to me. These are 2207 motors and 1715 kV. Okay, so that 1750 kV is normal for a 6S quadcopter, of course, but 2207, I'm happy with that, because it means the quadcopter will have a smooth power band. But well, these are 2207. Those are mostly used for freestyle quads. I would have expected a 2306 motor, and yeah, but there's nothing wrong, and I'm actually happy with this choice. Okay, and like I said, Foxeer FPV camera. It's a micro camera, and that's a good thing, I think. There's no need to be using full-size cameras anymore, really, and it saves weight. So we'll see how this works out. First time we see a Foxeer camera in a Diatone quadcopter, and it pairs nicely, of course, with the Foxeer Lollipop FPV antenna. Over here you also see a very big capacitor. And yeah, let me see, what more can I tell you? Yeah, there's a capacitor over here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that. Over here, there's also a buzzer over here. I hadn't actually noticed that before, but there's a buzzer over here next to the VTX. Now, as with all Diatone quadcopters, it doesn't come with a receiver. However, over here you've got this wire, and this connector clips into an RXSR or an XSR receiver. And there are actually two signal wires. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see them, but well, there are. One of them can be used for S-Bus, the other can be used for F-port. So, and let me see, the middle one, so the one that's not on the edge of the connector, is the F-port connector, which corresponds with the F-port connector on an RXSR. And it's connected to UART T6, transmitter 6 over here. And it isn't set up in Betaflight. They assume most people will be using S-Bus. And that works right out of the box. So if you can hook this up to an RXSR or an RXSR receiver and set it to S-Bus, it'll work. However, if you want telemetry, then you can you have the option of using F-port, and you'll have to set that up in your ports. Set the UART 6 to serial RX, nothing else. And in your configuration tab of Betaflight, you'll have to select F-port as your receiver type. And yeah, okay, so what do you get with this quadcopter? As usual with most any Diatone quadcopter, you get a lot of screws with your quadcopter. Basically, you are screwed. Yeah, Diatone really screws you over by supplying you. Okay, so you get, well, this is basically all the screws that are already on the quadcopter. So you get spares of all the screws, which is nice. Then you get these sets of screws, and I haven't really looked into it, but I assume these are to mount the alternate canopy. This one, the TPU printed canopy. So that's nice. You get yourself some motor nuts and a few of those plastic screws that hold together the flight stick. Oh, nice to see that all motor nuts are identical. No counter-rotating motor nuts, mumbo jumbo. Thank you very much. And some more screws and washers, and I'm not even sure what they are for. And you get this, and this is actually maybe an anti-interference shield for the TBS Unify, or a heat shield. Well, you can add this to the TBS Unify, and I will probably mount my receiver on top of the TBS Unify, so maybe that's not such a bad idea to mount this. This is a metal plate, aluminium, metal, I'm not sure, but well, actually I hadn't even noticed this before, but funny that you get this with the quadcopter, and I'll probably actually use it, so thank you very much. You get a bunch of tie wraps, and I'll use 2 of them to mount my antenna to. Diatone, it would be nice to add some shrink tube as well. Oh wait, ah, damn, there is shrink tube. Huh? Is this shrink tube? No, shit, these are these are metal standoffs. Okay, so these are also for the alternate canopy to mount. So again, Diatone, please add some shrink tube to mount our receiver antenna. You get this wire harness, and this is the wire harness that goes from the ESCs to your flight controller, so this is a spare. In case you damage it, you get a high quality battery strap, which is slightly rubbery, and it has a metal clasp and Diatone branding. Thank you very much. It has battery anti-skid pads, and Diatone, I think it would be nice to make these available for at least this quadcopter in well, transparent. I know this stuff is available in transparent, well, livery color, and that way that nice print wouldn't be obscured by these pads, right? So yeah, that would be nice. Okay, you get propellers, and yeah, these, well, these are Gemfan Flash, and I'm not completely sure, 51, 50 something, 59 maybe. The specs of these propellers are in the description of this video, and I'll also include a link to these propellers in case you want to order some spares, as the quadcopter comes with one set of these propellers, which is fine. A lot of people will have a preference for certain types of propellers, so it would have been nice if Diatone would have shipped the quadcopter with 2 sets, but this is usual. Okay, you get some documentation for the flight controller, which is helpful. You get decals, as with any Diatone quadcopter, and they are nicely, well, metallic red decals. Thank you very much. And that's basically it. That's all you get with this Diatone GT-R569 or the 549. Yeah, you get the exact same stuff with the 4S version, of course. And with the magic of video editing, we now have a flight-ready quadcopter. Yes, sir! I've got the receiver installed, antenna mounted to the arms, propellers are on, and yeah, again, I'm gonna run the quadcopter with this canopy, and I know it doesn't look as good as with the TPU printed canopy. It would, yeah, it would have looked better for my thumbnail as well. Oh, well, this... Yeah, again, the frame is probably quite a lot more stiff with this top section, and I want to be able to mount an action camera on it as well. Now again, that metal plate that goes on top of the TBS Unify, maybe it is to shield the Unify actually from radiation from your interference from your receiver. I don't know, we will see. I'll just test fly the quadcopter as is without the shield, and that way you'll know if the shield is actually required, right? So, okay, so I had actually planned to include some line of sight flying in this video. However, the weather is abysmal over here, and I want to get this video out to you. So I'll have several flights with this quadcopter up shortly, weather permitting. If you are left with questions, hit me up a comment down below. Obviously there are links to this quadcopter and again to spare propellers in the description down below. There's a link to Diatone directly if you want to order it from them directly. There's a link to the Banggood site, and that is an affiliate link. You will actually be supporting my channel if you use that link, but you don't have to, and it won't cost you more than without using my link. Just so you know. Okay, again, if you are left with questions, hit me up a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer you and catch you on the next video. Bye bye.